What's up, everybody? This is Phil Stiefel, host of Trending in the AM. We're live Facebook. Well, no, actually, we're not live Facebook. This is a first-time sporadic thing here. We're live on Twitter and we're live on YouTube right now. So make sure you hit that retweet button and like button on Twitter. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button on YouTube. A little something new we're going to add this year to the mix of already massive amount of content that I do. I'm going to try my best to go live, sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, talk a little betting, talk a little fantasy football, fantasy basketball, betting on football, a little bit of everything randomly. So there's not going to be a set schedule. There's not going to be a set time. It's just going to be a random thing. So that's why you got to hit that subscribe and follow button, turn notifications on. We're going to try to go live before Thursday night football games, before Monday night football games, before Eagles games. As baseball playoffs get here, we'll talk a little bit of that. So make sure you guys do it. I'm your host from Trending in the AM on Edge of Philly Sports every single morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. So this is going to be something new. I do a lot of gambling content on social media. I don't really do the live gambling content often, but we're gonna try it out. And if there's an interest in it, maybe we'll keep it going for a little longer. One thing, if you're new to my content, your opinions matter, your questions matter. If you've got questions on gambling, if you got questions on fantasy, you drop them. I will answer them. I check all replies and all comments on replays as well. So drop them. I'll do my best to answer them for you. So with that being said, today's episode, this quick one, it might take 10, 15, 20 minutes. We are going to take a look at futures for the NFL. NFL game one is tomorrow night, Chiefs and Ravens. Eagles play Friday night against the Green Bay Packers in Brazil. So before the season starts, everyone's got to get their Super Bowl bets in. Everybody's got to get their MVP bets in. So what we're going to do tonight is really quickly look at the board for both the MVP of the NFL and the Super Bowl of the NFL, or Super Bowl winner this year in the NFL. We're going to try to get a look at them. I'm going to give you my opinions on where I think you should lay your money, where I think you get some great value on the board. But if you've got any other questions on any other bets or fantasy, you can always just drop them really quickly. And I'll do my best to answer them for you as best I can. So let's just put my DraftKings screen up here on the screen real quick. There's that there. Let's go to that so you can semi-see my face. What do I got it on here first? I got the season MVP award odds. Right now, I use DraftKings. I know the big-time bettors, they like to have 20, 30 different sports books downloaded on their phones. I stick to DraftKings. I like DraftKings. I feel comfortable using DraftKings. I think their future odds are pretty solid for the most part. So I just forewarn you here, first and foremost, before every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles season for fun, I throw $5 on Joel Embiid, Bryce Harper, Jalen Hurts to win MVP of their league. I throw $5 on the Sixers, Phillies, Eagles to win their respective championships. That's just the fan in me. That's just the homer in me. I like to do that. But I also like to look at them and place real strong bets on odds I think they can hit. But I'm also going to get good value out of my money when they do hit. So let's take a look at these MVP odds, this MVP board. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is the favorite at 475 plus 475 to win the MVP award. And I just personally do not see the value in betting Patrick Mahomes to win the MVP this year. The Chiefs are obviously the best team. They're two-time defending champions. I see maybe a slight backward step for the Chiefs. They're still going to win their division. They're still going to make the playoffs. They're still going to make a deep run in the playoffs. But I don't know if Patrick Mahomes gets this team to the Super Bowl and gets a three-peat, he may single-handedly already cement himself as the best football player of all time. He's already in my book a top 5 quarterback of all time. This year he could really cement that. But I don't think at 475 plus 475 the value is there. Obviously, everybody's super high on CJ Stroud. He's 8-1 currently. I know that number's come down from March, April when it was a much bigger number. Everyone's super high on CJ Stroud. I don't like that as well. I mean, I'm kind of looking at this in a couple different brackets. I'm looking at the top 4: Mahomes, Stroud, Josh Allen 9-1, Joe Burrow 9.5-1. And if I'm in that top 4, and if I'm placing a bet, I'm taking a look at Josh Allen 9-1 in that stretch. That would not be the bet I make. I'm going to give you the 3 bets I have made for MVP shortly. One obviously being Jalen Hurts. But if I wanted to pick one of the 4 favorites currently on the board. I think Josh Allen 91. I think Josh Allen and the Bills. I know they lost Stefon Diggs. I think they're going to have a really strong season this year and a stronger season than people realize. So, with that being said, I think Josh Allen provides you in this area, in this region of the board, the best value. Now, obviously, Jalen Hurts is 12-1 now. I got him at 15-1 about a month and a half ago. I think Jalen Hurts, not just because I'm an Eagles fan, not just because I love the Eagles, not just because I'm a homer. I think Jalen Hurts should be in the single digits. 8-1, 9-1 to win the MVP. I mean, he was the prohibitive favorite to win the MVP through 12 weeks last year before the collapse of the Eagles happened. They've added Saquon Barkley. I do not see any reason why Jalen Hurts cannot win the MVP this year and multiple MVPs throughout his career. He is that damn good. Now, I wish his number would have, for you guys, if you haven't bet it, I wish his number would have stayed to 14-1 or 15-1, 16-1, 17-1. What's up, Adam? I don't know if you've bet any futures yet, Adam, but if you have, let me know. If you don't yet, I'm going to try to give you what I think are the three best value bets for MVP right now. And even though he's 12-1, I think Jalen Hurts 12-1 is still a solid value. I wish it was still 15-1 or 16-1 for you. Like I said, I do like the Josh Allen as well at 9-1. Looking at the rest, so I looked at the top four names: the Mahomes, Stroud, Allen, Burrow. Then I kind of take the Hurts all the way through Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy at 20-1. And I love Hurts at 12-1 still. I do not like, I know a lot of people are very high on Jordan Love. I am not. He had 6 good games last year. I think there's going to be some regression. I know it's not his sophomore season, but a sophomore slump, so to speak. They've got 3 good wide receivers, no great wide receivers. I think people are going to be a little surprised at Jordan Love's season. I think the second best, I don't know if it's the second best value. So my fourth best, if I had a power ranking, everybody that watches me knows I love power rankings. The fourth best bet you can make is probably Aaron Rodgers at 18-1. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, if he stays healthy, if he plays the whole year because he's a psycho and crazy, 18-1 for Aaron Rodgers, I think is a fantastic. The Jets are stacked. The Jets, in my opinion, will win the AFC East as long as Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. I think 18-1 is a really strong value there. In the 20-1 category, you've got Goff, Dak Prescott. Just forget about that right now. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. I can't believe a 2-time MVP is 20-1 right now. I wouldn't bet it, but I think there's that's great value, 20-1 for a 2-time MVP. I know it's hard to win back to back, and he's never really completed the task come the playoffs. But 20-1 for Lamar Jackson, I think, is a crazy sick number. And then Brock Purdy 20-1. I think the 49ers are going to see a little regression this year. I know Ayuk's finally there. I know Trent Williams was in town today and seems to have signed his deal and all. But Lamar Jackson, 20-1, I think is kind of sick. I'm glad you got Hurts at 15-1 before it went down. I think for a guy that was literally winning the MVP last year at week 12, I think that's great value. I think it's a great bet. You could do so much worse than bet. Even now at 12-1, Jalen Hurts right now. Yeah, I'm on right now, Eric. What is up? We're gonna do some random betting shows and random fantasy shows. You never know when I'm gonna pop on. Some of them might be pre-recorded. Some of them might be live. Some of them might be 2 minutes long. Some of them might be 20 minutes long. Who knows? If enough people start watching, they might go longer than that. But yeah, we're gonna do it. Trending the AM will be back. I know. Maddie B filled in for me today, but I'll be back tomorrow morning. I got a jam-packed show of notes for tomorrow morning. No notes on this. We don't do notes in these random pop-up shows. We're just winging it, looking at the board and the betting. What's the odds for the Eagles? We'll get to the Super Bowl odds. That's going to be the second half of this little conversation. I did get him at them at 15-1 earlier in the offseason as well. But yeah, so definitely like that. Yeah. Just don't call me Mr. No Notes. Somebody might have that copyrighted by now. Doofus. How did the Amazon order went fine? Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I had some interesting moments lately in customer service that we will get into on Trending in the AM tomorrow morning. I want to get to some of these more longer shots because obviously I'm not a fan of Brock Purdy as an MVP candidate. I think Brock Purdy doesn't get his flowers that he deserves for winning a lot of games, but whatever. Tua 25-1. I think his number should be much higher than that. I wouldn't come close to betting Tua as an MVP at 25-1, 50-1, maybe. Trevor Lawrence 30-1. I think some people are sleeping on the Jaguars, but whatever. The last set of odds that I think have some validity to it, that if you want to throw a couple pennies, a couple shekels at a bet, it's at 30-1. It's Matthew Stafford with the Rams. You got a healthy Rams team. You got Matthew Stafford, who's one of the most underappreciated quarterbacks in the league. He still plays really well right now at his age. I mean, last year he only played in 15 games, threw right around 4,000 yards. Let me see here. I can't see. That's 24 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. He was a top 10 MVP candidate last year. Fourth in Offensive Player of the Year awards last year. They were 9-6 when he started last year. I think the Los Angeles Rams could push the San Francisco 49ers for the NFC West title. I really, truly do. And I think that if they do push them, which I think is possible, then you've got a very strong chance of Matthew Stafford in the running for MVP. And so at 30-1, I don't think you can make anywhere else further down the board much better of a bet than 30-1 for Matthew Stafford. So I think that's the end of the real true considerations. I mean, people love Anthony Richardson this year, but he played 3 games last year and he's 35-1. Maybe he was like 60-1 or something, maybe. Kirk Cousins. Everyone's high on the Falcons, but he's got just as many weapons as he had in Minnesota. He did nothing there. Justin Herbert stinks. Caleb Williams at 45-1 is insane. He's a rookie. CMC at 60-1. When was the last time a running back was Adrian Peterson? Like 200 years ago was the last time a running back. I don't think there's any value down here. You know, you keep going down this board. I mean, maybe you take a stab on where was it? I did see one I wanted to mention. Maybe you take a stab at 151 for Saquon Barkley. But again, Adrian Peterson hasn't won. Was the last running back to win an MVP, the last non-quarterback to win an MVP. So I think if you venture past the 30-1, you're basically donkeying off money at this point. So I think your best bets, my bets so far, are 15-1 Jalen Hurts. He's now 12-1. I did bet Matthew Stafford 30-1, and I bet Aaron Rodgers. I got him at 20-1. He's 18-1 now. I would say you're justified in Josh Allen at 9-1, and some of these other guys. And Adam, you're asking about C.J. Stroud. Do you not foresee a scenario where C.J. Stroud kind of tapers off a little bit this year? Maybe falls down a little bit this year. I know they added Stefon Diggs, another year of experience, etc. But if you're going to give me a free $5 bet, just say for easy money, and C.J. Stroud's 8-1 to win the MVP, and Josh Allen is 9-1 to win the MVP, I'm going to place the money on Josh Allen, and I have to make that $5 bet or $50 bet or $100 bet on either Stroud or Allen. I am going to go Josh Allen over C.J. Stroud. Josh Allen, people are forgetting about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's a great quarterback. The Bills have had some problems. Yes, they've lost Stefon Diggs. They haven't completed the task in the playoffs, just like Lamar Jackson. It's a regular season award MVP, and I would not be shocked if Josh Allen and the Bills play really well. I know I think the Jets and Aaron Rodgers will win that division. But if they don't, it's because Josh Allen plays like an MVP player. So I think you get better chances of your bet hitting if you bet it on Josh Allen versus C.J. Stroud. That's just my opinion. But if I was going to power rank my 5 favorite players to win MVP this year, it would be Jalen Hurts number 1. That's not me being a homer. That's just me being honest with myself. That would be 1. Josh Allen 2. Patrick Mahomes 3, which I just won't bet a 4 point plus 475. I just don't think there's any value in that. Aaron Rodgers, and like I said, I keep going back to that Matthew Stafford at 30-1 and thinking that there's some great value right there if you want to do that. Guys, we're live on YouTube and Twitter, guys. Wherever you're watching, please hit that like button and that share button, that subscribe button, that follow button. Turn notifications on because you don't know when these videos are going to be coming. We're going to do random betting videos and random fantasy videos on this page. You can also catch Trending in the AM every single Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. The original, the first, the longest running daily morning show in Philadelphia on YouTube, guys. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you tune in every single morning. And anybody watching, if you got questions, if you're on Twitter, you can click the video. It opens up a box. You can comment. You can ask a question and whatnot right there. So that's how I see the MVP board playing out. I don't think any of these guys down here have even a remote chance. Like, I don't even know why anybody would bet any of these guys down here. You know, I see people wanting to make bets on Tyreek Hill or CeeDee Lamb. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. So let's move the second part of this show, which is to Super Bowl odds, which is something I think is pretty fun. And like I said, I always throw a small little bet on my Phillies, my Eagles, and my Sixers to win a title. It hasn't worked since I've been doing this, but I still do it just for fun. You know, it's definitely just for fun. Opinions are like offense coordinators. Everyone in the NFL has one. That's true. My opinions, you can weigh my opinions. Let me just give a little background on my betting and my fantasy successes and failures. I don't bet or play big, but I've never made a single solitary deposit into DraftKings in my life. All the money I've gotten was from years and years and years ago from free rolls when I first started doing this. And I've turned it into a fact that I've withdrawn money almost every single year, sometimes multiple times a year. So I have a pretty solid track record, considering I've never had to deposit a single penny into a single betting site ever in my life. So I love to be able to say that. I came really close this year. I had a really bad golf season. But then 3 of the last 4 weeks of the season, I hit outright bets. So, you know, that turned the season around. All right, Super Bowl championship odds to win the Super Bowl this year. Obviously, Chiefs are the favorite to be the three-time defending champions. The odds of that happening are very slim. I don't know why anyone would bet the Chiefs 5-1. 49ers are second favorite, 6-1. We're looking at the top 5 or 6 here to start. And then we'll go down the board a little further. Ravens are the third favorite at 10-1. Lions 12-1. Bengals 13-1. Eagles 14-1. I got the Eagles at 15-1 earlier in the offseason. So we'll start with those top 6. The top 3 in the Eastern or the NFC and the AFC there. I still firmly believe the 49ers have. I wish I could use one. That would pad my bank account a little bit more. I would appreciate that. I think the 49ers take a step back. 6-1, I don't think is juicy enough for a team that I think has question marks. For sure. Guy that they just got their wide receiver, you know, into camp. Their offensive lineman, their stud offensive lineman that will protect Brock Purdy just is signing today. So hasn't practiced once. I just don't like the odds of 6-1. If the 49ers were 10-1, 12-1, 15-1, absolutely. You bet them. But at 6-1, I just don't think it's good enough. Ravens 10-1. I don't like it because the Ravens have now, Lamar Jackson's been there, 5 years now, 6 years. Still can't seal the deal. Those odds should be higher. And then they would be more attractive, but 10-1 is just not good enough. Detroit Lions 12-1. I think it's interesting. 12-1. I don't think they're ready yet. I think Jared Goff has limitations, but he's a good quarterback, and they're a good team. I just don't know. I don't know how many of these odds you can actually bet. I don't know how much value is actually on the board here. The Bengals 13-1. I mean, if Joe Burrow's healthy, maybe. If he plays the whole year, if Jamar Chase doesn't have any lingering issues with his contract, maybe. Got to have a little yingling here. Texans 16-1 kind of intrigues me. I know I said CJ Stroud might fall back, but I think you get great value on the Texans not falling back at 16-1. So 16-1, I think you get the proper value on your money there. Same thing with the Bills at 16-1. Same thing with the I can't get to the Packers yet. We'll move on to that in a second. So I have the Eagles bet at 15-1. Texans and Bills, I think, are intriguing at 16-1 there. I think they're teams that will have great seasons. We'll just see. Packers 16-1, just like I said on Jordan, or 18-1. I'm off on the Jordan Love. They're not ready. They're not there. They're not even the best team, the Packers, in their own division. I would never bet the Packers to win the Super Bowl. The Jets at 19-1. Just like I said, I like Aaron Rodgers MVP odds at 18-1. Jets Super Bowl odds at 19-1 if Aaron Rodgers is healthy. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't go on some dark retreat in the middle of the season. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't run for president or something like that stupid. Like, Aaron Rodgers is crazy. But if Aaron Rodgers wants to solidify his legacy, 19-1 is, for a stacked roster, I think it's kind of fun. I kind of like the 19-1 bet there and I'll probably throw a shekel on that or two. Cowboys 19-1. No. Dolphins. I think the Cowboys should be like 30-1, honestly. Maybe there's a little homerish in that statement, but that's just where I'm at. Dolphins 22-1. No. Rams, just like I like Matthew Stafford at 30-1 to win MVP, I love the Rams 30-1 to win the Super Bowl. They're probably not going to win it. But if my gut feeling is correct and they're going to challenge the 49ers for that division, and if they do actually win the division because Matthew Stafford's playing like an MVP quarterback again, why can't they go on a run in the playoffs? They've done it before a few years ago. I love the 30-1 on the Rams and on Matthew Stafford. I could be totally wrong. This could be like me a couple of years ago saying that the Raiders were going to go to the Super Bowl. I was totally off on that one, but it could happen. Commanders, I think, might be better than the Cowboys this year. I agree. And hold on one second with that question. So the Cowboys are 19-1. Where are the Commanders on this list? I don't know why my mouse ain't working. The Commanders are 120-1 to win the Super Bowl, where the Cowboys are 19-1. That's insane to me. That is literally insane that's that much of a difference there. Honestly, I think after you get past the Jets at 19-1 and you have a little fun with a team like the Rams at 30-1, I don't think you can bet a single other team odds-wise here to win the Super Bowl. Are the Chargers going to magically win a Super Bowl under Jim Harbaugh? No. Is Russell Wilson or Justin Fields going to take the Steelers? No. Seattle? No. The Colts? No. I like the Colts. I think the Colts are going to be a good team this year. Super Bowl? No. I mean, the fact that the Raiders have better odds than the Commanders, I think is pretty crazy. There is literally nobody outside of the Rams at 30-1, outside of the top 10 teams that you can bet on the odds board here. Like, I just don't think there's a single reason or way you can make those bets. That's just my opinion. That's my 2 cents on it. I've only made the one Super Bowl bet of the Eagles so far. But in theory, I could get behind you if you want to say the Texans or the Bills at 16-1, the Jets at 19-1, and the Rams at 30-1. I might throw a penny or two on that Rams line at 30-1, just because I think the NFC this year is going to be a lot more jumbled together. I think the NFC, like I did my record predictions earlier, I think the NFC is going to have a lot of 10 and 11 win teams, a lot of 9, 10, 11 win teams. Nobody's going to win 13 games in the NFL, period, this year. So I think once you get to the playoffs, who's healthy, you never know. If the Rams win their division, even if the Rams just get into the playoffs, they're good enough that they can get hot. Puka Nacua, along with Cooper Kupp, Kieran Williams, Matthew Stafford. I know they got to replace Aaron Donald. They'll probably have to score a little bit more than before. I just think the odds of 30-1, they just jump out to me. And none of these other teams, I think, even remotely stand a chance. The Dolphins don't stand a chance. The Cowboys don't stand a chance. Not in my humble opinion. That's not me being an Eagles fan. That's just me being honest with myself. They gutted the Chargers. Those guys are trusting the process 2.0. I would hate to be a Chargers fan right now. But on the flip side, the odds makers love the Chargers. I mean, 45-1. What did I say? That Justin Herbert was like 35-1. I mean, for a team that's not done anything, they got a new head coach. They got rid of their top 2 wide receivers. Why would anybody bet anything on any Los Angeles team, the Chargers team? Any bet on the Los Angeles Chargers, I think, is a silly bet. I really, truly do. I don't think there's any value in that. But anyway, guys, again, you're just watching my completely random pop-up betting show. We are going to do these throughout the year right here on this channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe and follow button. Make sure you hit like this video if you're watching this on replay. Drop your questions, your comments. I will respond. Call me out. Call me an idiot. Call me whatever. I will respond to it. Joseph, what's up, my man? I used to do a lot of night stuff. We're going to make this semi-regularly, but you never know what's going to happen. We're going to do late night, middle of the night, early afternoon. We're going to do some betting and fantasy content throughout the season, but we're not going to have a set schedule to it because with work and the way work goes, you just never know when I'm going to have the free time to do it. I'm going to try to do a video before every Thursday night and Monday night football game, a video before every Eagles game. I'm going to try to go live as often as I can in the mornings for fantasy football. We'll see if I have time, though. I do like to sleep on Sundays. It's my day to sleep, but we'll see. We're going to try to do more and more content this year. We're going to try to add more and more to my already busy schedule, because you know what? You guys deserve it. You guys support me. You guys give me a lot of your time, so I got to give you guys more of my time. So with that being said, though, I just want to keep these videos to 15, 20, 25 minutes long. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap it up right there. I gave you my thoughts on who's going to win MVP. I gave you my thoughts who I think is going to be the Super Bowl champions, odds-wise, where I think the value is. Hit those buttons, that like, share, subscribe button, guys. Please do that for me. I would greatly, greatly appreciate if you do that. But with that being said, we're going to start the wrap-up process here. Tune in live tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., 90 minutes of sports talk every Monday through Friday, trending in the AM on Edge of Philly Sports, the first and only daily morning show that's been going for 3 years straight now. Everyone likes to imitate, but no one can copy what I do. But with that being said, I'm Phil Stiefel. You can find me right there. If you're watching on YouTube, find me on Twitter at Bearded Knowledge. I post pics there daily as well. No charge at all. But with that being said, guys, I am Phil Stiefel, your host all the time. And that's right. That's how we end up every show, with a simple, very simple. Bubbles up to you guys.